So, guys, it's been a while, and as you can probably tell by the way I sound, we were sick. And I'm sure you're hearing a lot of people being sick lately. The dang Omicron variant is going around, and I'm pretty sure there's way more cases than what's even recorded here in the Philippines. But yeah, I had Omicron, my family did, my girlfriend's family did. We all pretty much had it. We're all okay, and this is my experience. Actually, it's my second time. For those that don't know, I had COVID back in February or March of 2021. This was, I think it was the original COVID strain or something along the lines, but it was before vaccines. And that experience sucked. I was pretty much streaming regularly, I feel like, during that time, and then I stopped and I kind of shared that with my viewers. But to sum it up, the first time I had COVID was very shitty. Super bad fatigue was the biggest thing. I felt like I couldn't move in bed for multiple days, and I was tired all the time. I had a bad cough, a very bad dry cough, lost my sense of taste and smell. I couldn't use the bathroom for multiple days for some reason, and then I ended up having LBM, and I had tight chest pains, and that is all, for my understanding, was still a pretty mild case of the original COVID. I was able to isolate at my own place and recover. I did the 14-day quarantine back then, and all was well after that 14 days. And then I ended up getting my vaccine a few months after, or I think a month after that. A few months after that. I ended up getting my vaccine a few months after my experience with that original COVID bout. Now, you know, that catches you up. Now, here we are. We just finished the 10-day isolation period. Now, it is different now. I believe if you are a vaccinated person with a mild case, your isolation period is 10 days, I believe. And I think if you're unvaccinated or if you have a severe case, I think it's 14 still. So they took it down a little bit. I know in other parts of the world it's even 5 days, I think, if you're asymptomatic or you have no more symptoms. But that's kind of crazy to me because thinking about my timeline, I would not have felt good enough to go out on day 5 or day 6, right? So my experience with this is, yeah, again, this happened over the holidays, around Christmas time, and it affected not only me, but my family as well, and my girlfriend's family. So we all pretty much went through it. We've all done the isolation. We all pretty much, to sum it up, we all pretty much had mild cases for the most part. Now, I would say, some had a varying degree of a mild case because it is based on person to person. My experience is kind of weird, though. I would say it's kind of weird because in the sense that it didn't all come crashing down on me at once like previously. Um, I noticed the first day of symptoms was actually the same day most of people started feeling it in the family and everything, and we kind of just knew. Like I mean, we're in our third year here, and I kind of just knew what was going on. So we isolated right away, and just stayed in the rooms. And first thing I noticed was just a headache, kind of a persistent headache that wouldn't go away with Biogesic. And a lot of the times when I get headaches, I think it's my eyesight because I do have bad eyesight. I am wearing contacts for vision's sake. And if I wear my glasses, I usually get headaches if I stare at screens for a long time, right? But usually Biogesic or paracetamol or whatever will help that, and it wasn't helping it that first day. So I figured, oh, okay, this is a very similar headache to the first time that I got COVID. So kind of had an idea, and the rest of my family members started to either have sipon or a little bit of a sore throat. Like they woke up in the morning with a little bit of a sore throat. So we all kind of just knew, and we were like, all right, let's isolate. So we go ahead and isolate, and then so going forward, days 2 and 3, not much changed, honestly. Like, I had the headache. I started to get a little bit of sipon, or like a little bit of sniffles, right? And a little bit of congestion, but not much. Again, comparing it to the first time where everything just kind of hit me like a truck out of nowhere. First day, second day, and onward, it was really fast. Whereas this time around, it was kind of gradual. And for those that are curious, I am fully vaccinated with Pfizer, and not boosted because we here in the Philippines we just started having booster shots. I believe, like, I think they just became open for kind of everybody to come in and get. They break them down in certain ways, but anyway, going back. So by day 4 is when things kind of hit me a lot harder, I would say. And what I mean that in a sense that in this experience, having a little bit of runny nose and a slight cough wasn't much, right? I still had the headaches a little bit, but then by day 4 and 5, the fatigue came again, which I was familiar with. But it wasn't like the previous one. This one was more of a sporadic kind of fatigue feeling where I would get tired maybe for a couple hours throughout the day. I'd take a nap, I'd wake up, I'd be fine, and then I'd want to take a nap again later on, and I would still sleep the whole 8 hours. Now, this was different from what other people around me were experiencing, other people in the family, I should say, where they had burning sore throats at that time that felt like they were swallowing razor blades, right? So each person had kind of a different experience, but all of us being fully vaccinated, even with different vaccines, generally had mild cases. So, I had to deal with the fatigue, I had to deal with the headaches, I had to deal with the slight cough, the runny nose. I'm still a little bit congested now, even now that it's been past 10 days of the isolation. And, it was much more manageable this time around, and I credit that to the vaccines. I lost my sense of taste or smell around I think it was around day 6. Day 6, 7, and 8 of isolation. I lost my sense of taste and smell. And that's always the worst for me because I love food. And when you can't taste or smell it, it sucks, right? So I lost it for about 3 days. And then on day 9, day 10, I started getting my bouts of a sense of smell and taste back, to the point now, here I am, again, past day 10 of isolation, and I have it fully back. So, and all the symptoms are pretty much gone, aside from this little bit of congestion, which just makes me, it feels like, the feeling of congestion, basically. So hopefully that clears out in the next day or two. But overall, throughout it, I didn't even have a fever. I didn't have to deal with that. But again, I know that family members of mine and loved ones close to me had to deal with fevers, had to deal with chills at night, had to deal with a worse sore throat, but still generally categorized within the mild area for COVID. No one had to be taken to the hospital, and that's kind of the biggest thing here with vaccinations is making sure you don't have to go to the hospital, because there's a ton of people that are going there, right? And it's an experience again that I feel like this time around with Omicron, guys, it's something that's really hard to avoid. Let's be honest here. It's going to be really hard to avoid, and all you can do is protect yourself the best you can, following the normal protocols. That's the thing. We, as a family, as a collective group, my family, my girlfriend's family, we're so safe. Hand sanitizer and masks, it's just become a part of life, right? All the health protocols that people follow now, and a lot of them have not gotten COVID for 2 years. And then all of a sudden, with Omicron, it just hits everybody, and nothing changed really in our way that we handle day-to-day life. So that's just how transmissible it is. And if you happen to get it, there's probably the people around you are getting it too. And that's what we noticed, even on my list of social media, just everybody seems to be sick right now or have it, right? And I think even according to what's being recorded or reported here in the news isn't accurate, and I'm sure it's that way across the world because this thing is just so transmissible. So, but overall, like I said, isolation is done. The rest of the family and everybody else is healed up pretty much to the point where I am now, where we just have some congestion, maybe a little bit of a headache or something. But overall, it's done. The second season of having COVID, and I'm thankful for the vaccines. And I want to just end this video by saying, take care of yourself, guys, and take care of your health, your immune system, and get vaccinated, honestly, if you can. I know there's some people that can't medically, but it is a serious thing out there, and we're back. So thank you guys for being patient, and again, I just hope everybody stays safe. All right, that's it for now. I'll see you guys soon. GGWP.